Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the Inner Miami Show. I'm one half of your co-hosting duo, Brandon Griffin, and with me is Mike Discotech Longan. How you doing, my man? I tried
It's
putting you in
not.
on the intro because it was doing it.
I know it's not working now. How many?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no. Apple's letting me down. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm 24 hours from now. I will have seen an Inter Miami win in Orlando in person. My first trip to Inter and Co Stadium. Our first win on Inter and Co Stadium field. No, I'm excited. I'm in a good mood. Um, Somewhat nervous to be going on this trip, but yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm in a good mood. Let's go with
Good.
that.
Yeah, man. Plenty of reasons to be excited coming into this week. We've got lots of news to get into. Um, First bit is not Inter Miami related, but you guys are fans of the show. It is Mike and Branton related. So if you follow us on Twitter, you probably saw we have now officially launched the Fort Lauderdale United show. All of our socials are at FTL United Show. That's Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. So follow us on there. We will be going live with our first episode covering Fort Lauderdale United. Coming at you Wednesday next week.
Well, we don't know if we're gonna be live yet, right? Because we
Well,
might not have the
right.
viewers. We will. The first show will be Wednesday. Similar to how we launched the show, you got to have 100 subscriptions on YouTube before they'll let you go live. So we'll get some shows up there. We're very excited. Lots of announcements. Obviously, the club's real. They've got their things going on. They signed their first player today, which we will get into. Felicia Knox, former
Yeah.
Alabama player, former SEC Player of the Year. Owns the assist record at Alabama the record at Alabama for assists. So yeah, I think it's an interesting signing. She did originally sign with NWSL.
But
Now
she
it's
was
coming here.
drafted
Yep,
by
draft.
Angel City in LA. Did not make their final cuts coming out of preseason. Another interesting fact about Felicia is when she was, I believe it was while she was in high school, she was the captain of the U.S. futsal team.
Yes, I saw
So
that.
she
I
has
saw that too.
skills with the ball. Very exciting signing. Probably going to slot in as a number 10 if I had to guess. But we'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss that more next
Yeah.
week. Also, I don't want to get into it now, but I want to talk about some of those season ticket prices because Fort Lauderdale United did release season ticket prices. I think there's a little bit of a conversation to be had here amongst the two of us, and maybe bring in some easier Rebellion calling us out. We were on the wrong
There
side.
we
So maybe
go.
that's why this
It
wasn't
was
working.
weird.
Didn't work. No. There we
There it
go.
goes.
There it goes. All right, got to work. So I want to get into that season ticket prices because I do think that's a conversation worth having. Brand new team, brand new
Yeah.
stadium. I found some of those kind of surprising. At the same time, I also found some of them very affordable, and I think that for those who want to get into it, it's gonna be a nice way to get into it.
Yeah, and we'll break that all down on the Fort Lauderdale United show coming at you next week. But yeah, we wanted to let you guys know if you can, if you want to hear more women's soccer news, you want to support for really South Florida's first professional like women's soccer team. Get on there. I do have hair, Mike V. I have
Branton, what's
glorious
funny?
hair, by the way.
So Branton and I had before the show, we're talking for like 15 minutes about just show stuff, and I was looking at you. I'm like, I couldn't figure out what looked off. And I've seen you without a hat on many times, but I've never seen you on the show. And I didn't notice it until Mike V just called this out that you don't have your hat on.
I think I've done 2 shows with no hat.
Oh, did we win those after those games? I'm scared. A
Probably.
little scared. We better have.
Listen,
If we lose, I'm blaming the hat.
I have a beautiful head of hair.
You do.
And if
have a
I could
beautiful
show
head
it
of hair.
off, I'm gonna show it off.
If I had a head of hair like you, I would have a man bun. Like I hide my head because I am going bald, and I can't rock the man bun that is in vogue, and I would love to do it. It's a dream of mine that I will never attain.
My 4-year-old son wants me to do a man bun.
Should.
I'm not sure. That's not the most professional haircut.
No, it is nowadays. It's a modern European professional.
Hmm. I could
Maybe we're gonna have to do a
maybe I'll
poll.
try
Should
it.
Branson rock the hair bun?
I have been experimenting, so this is off topic, obviously, but
We're way off topic. We're starting off the topic.
so Sean, I used to have long hair. I used to have, I don't know, it wasn't necessarily shoulder length, but it was close. Yeah, and I actually, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to bring the kilt back out. I'm gonna pick a game for that. But anyway, yeah, no, I've been experimenting. I've been getting, geez, Mike, I got away from dress shoes and started wearing, the dress sneaker look.
Can we just call out what Mike V said? Because this might be the greatest compliment you have ever been paid. Branson has Compapi quality hair.
What the hair used to look like.
You need to retire and just say you've won. Go tell the wife.
All right.
She's gonna. We already got a kid on the way. Yeah, you're out. He's out. That was no. Now we're switched again. There we go. All right, let's get into. Let's get back on track. We're gonna try to. By the way, we're gonna try to keep this to an hour. We're gonna hold ourselves accountable.
We're gonna see.
Again, I'm up all night tomorrow night, so I do need to rest a little bit.
Boo hoo. So season ticket holder news. Awesome stuff happening. Inter Miami has announced that they are doing the exclusive for season ticket members, the Football Fiesta Open Training. I do not want to tell you this, but I feel obligated to tell you this because we like to give all our season ticket holder news. Preceding the open training, which is supposed to last for an hour, there will be merch madness. I'm not going to tell you what time because I do not want you to be there so I can get all the merch. No, I think it's 6:00.
Yeah, gates parking opens at 5. Gates open at 6. Merch madness starts at 6. That's the only reason I'm going. I am hoping the majority of people there just want to go see Messi do Messi things who may not even show up because it was very clear. I know what you're saying.
Yep.
Very clear that it's up to the players if they want to participate. I just want to go see Merch Madness. I can almost guarantee there will be nothing Messi.
Is that confirmed, Joe? Because they said that last year, but they took card payments. Interesting.
Well, I'll bring cash.
Well, I think that's something. That's why I asked. I'm like, hey, if that's confirmed, let's make sure our fans.
Dude, I'm hoping there's gonna be like Robbie Robinson's last jersey ever.
There we go.
Some stuff like that. Ryan Saylor hair buns.
It says it in the email. Cash only. Oh, Hunter said so, so that means it's true.
If Hunter said it, it's true. All right, well, I will bring I'm gonna bring a wad of cash.
Best. They have in what I'm really after, and go nuts, guys. Last year they did the locker tags, the player locker tags, and I'm not going to tell anybody what players I want, but I want a couple of those.
Well, Joe Kerr got me the Morgan one, so I had the Morgan jersey, and with the Morgan jersey, I've got the Morgan tag that Joe Kerr picked up for me. So that was a cool one. I'd love to get the Yedlin one to go with mine. I'll throw it out there who I want. And then we all know my boy, even though last episode said let's get rid of him, Drake. Those would be the tags I want.
Mike,
the other thing cool, if
you beat me there and Compapi is there, please.
Of course. The other thing that's cool is sometimes you see the numbered training kits.
Yeah.
So the training kit with the number on it is always such a unique thing to own.
And if you have kids, they sell the extra academy kits and shorts and track pants and the whole nine for dirt cheap. I know a guy, he got all this kids stuff for he got a huge bag for $30. And it's all Adidas, kits, shorts, sweatpants, tracksuit, the whole nine. So go look at that table and leave the locker tags alone.
But no, I think it's good. Joe Kerr, have you updated your list of things that were promised but we have not been given? I did not see you throw a tweet out today.
Oh, we should
But
have
I do think you need to
asked
update
him.
that because again, I've always been I want to hold the club accountable and I want to celebrate when they do the thing they promised. This is the thing they promised. I mean, we have to see what it looks like once we get in the door, but cool. Like let's give the club credit. They are crossing another one off the list, and they're doing so honestly earlier than I thought they would. I felt like this would be one of those things they'd scramble the last 3 weeks just to get in.
Well, and I
But
think we,
this is a fine time for it. A Tuesday night kind of sucks, to be fair, but if it's on a weekend, I know as a season ticket holder, it tends to be the weekends that we're not playing. I'm out of town because that's when I can get out of town because I don't have the game to go to. So I actually kind of prefer it.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. Like you said, much earlier than I thought it would happen. But I don't. Didn't they talk about like a player meet and greet or something? Like I don't think that's happening at the same time.
I'm gonna hold out some hope that
A
some of
second
our
event. A second
no, I'm
event
gonna
would
hold out
be
some
epic.
hope that some of our our former academy players do show up. Like they're actually outside of the pitch. Am I expecting Suarez to
Oh,
be out there? No, but you know the sailor, I'm gonna sailor wasn't academy, but like the academy and the drafted kids start to show up. I can see that happening.
yep. Sean, you're right. Meet and greet and pub crawl. Still waiting for him. But I have hope now. I didn't have hope before we got the mysterious email from our ticket rep saying, "Tune in later today for the email about
Which come
football
on, like
fiesta." I was
how
like, "Just
weird
send
is
it out
that?
now."
How weird is I'm sending you an email and I actually understand why because one email comes from one system, another comes from another.
Like, if you ride the Brightline, you can be Tweety and Jake LaCava. Probably meet Kieran Gibbs too. But him
I,
and Tweety are doing that.
I
That
had such hopes
academy
for
together.
LaCava. You remember that, man? Like I was like, put in
Yeah,
LaCava. Kampapi
he
sucks.
was
Put in LaCava.
he was Breck Shea's like heir apparent, and we just screwed that.
And they
Ugh.
never try. And I think what everyone was kind of saying was that he was just doing horrible in IMCF too. But then you look at like at USL, he was doing great. And I don't
Yeah,
actually
he did
believe
great for
IMCF
the
2 is better than
Rowdies.
USL. So that seems to be a coaching issue, not a player issue. How is Jake LaCava doing this year? Let me look it up.
Yeah, that's what everyone wants to know. Let's pause while Mike Googles it and does more
I
of
can
those
Google and
emoji
talk at the same
things.
time.
He's Googling and talking, everyone. You hear him?
You have to talk it. This is a conversation, not just me.
Well,
He's on Charleston Battery now.
he is.
Now
I
gotta
know
Google.
that because our friend Trav, their Miami traveler, he's all in on the Battery.
All right, so let's keep on moving forward. Let's get into a
The
very interesting
Montreal
game,
recap.
quite frankly.
Yeah, I listen. Starting lineup was I think Mike called it, by the way. I got to give him credit for that. It was Gressel, Gressel, Freyer, Christoph in the back. Obviously Weigand, Negri in the wide positions, then midfield of Kremoski, Rojas, Busquets, and then and Gressel, and then Freyer Messi and Suarez up top. So, Mike called the center back pairing because I thought for sure we were going Ryan Sailor, but
I gotta
not a bad
say,
lineup to roll out.
and I gotta say, I did call Christoph. I think he really struggled in this game.
Big
Frere was
time.
going to rip his head off after the first goal. I don't think he looked comfortable at all. And now I get it. Frere and Toto are creating a true pairing. Like they're comfortable with each other. And so dropping Christoph in there, and this goes back to my comments last game, dropping Christoph in there with no prep, no time for them to play together. No, like that could have all been worked out a little bit in that 6-2 win
Yeah.
over the Red Bulls. Instead, you drop him in cold here. And kind of what I threw out there was could happen, happened. I'm going to take credit and say this is exactly why I thought Tata should have subbed in Christoph with 10 minutes left in that
Well,
Red Bulls game because Christoph looked totally uncomfortable. He was not prepared for this.
So, and I agree that Kristoff did not look prepared, but and you kind of admitted that you did not see the last 10 minutes or so of the game.
Well, he
Um,
wasn't in it anymore,
well,
so
no, but what I'm saying is like kind of like I advocated last week. I thought Sailor should have gotten the start. Sailor looked, it's hard to say like, okay, yeah, 10 minutes of Ryan Sailor looked better than Kristoff, but it did. We looked a little more solid at the back, and there's definitely a little more comfort with Ryan Sailor and Fryer. Not that Sailor lit anything on fire. It's kind of hard to make that kind of impact in 10 minutes, but I think he played better than Kristoff and probably would have over the course of the game. But yeah, I thought we were gonna see a murder. I thought Fryer was gonna kill him. That was bad.
I like Kristoff. I think he's played well. I think
He
this
just
is as
doesn't fit
much an
the
issue.
system.
And I think, well, but
That's
I'm
it.
also going to and I'm going to agree with something you've said over and over. He doesn't have the game minutes to be comfortable in this system.
Mm.
And that's a failure of coaching. That's a failure of you're only playing your two center backs. And I get it. It's funny because I had a meet and greet with my son's new coach yesterday, and he talked about how center backs typically play a full 90. You're not going to sub them out. They're the consistent guys. But at some point, you do need to make sure you have, especially on this team who's been injury prone since the day we started, mostly because Robbie Robinson's been here since the day we started. Like, you've got to have some like ability for these other guys to step in without them being cold every time. The practice pitch isn't enough. And I just think we haven't taken advantage of them in the 4-0 wins, the 6-2 wins. There's opportunities that we should have.
Well, and so Kristoff is very clearly not a Tata player. He's a Phil Neville
Yeah.
player. He's a guy that in a low block like could be excellent. He's the rock at the back line in that system. In this system, he is clearly a liability. Not as big a liability as Ari Lassiter as a left back, but almost as bad. And we talked about it. We talked about it in between the game and now that I could totally see in a world where we see Kristoff go out in the summer and we bring somebody else in, a more athletic center back, kind of in the mold of Toto and Ryan Sailor, to kind of be that third center back. Because I don't think Tata has the trust in Ryan Sailor at this point to be the third center back. But and maybe it's an Ian Frey that's ready to kind of step up and take that 10 minutes at the end of a game or whatnot at center back. But they got to do something because Toto's gonna be suspended for yellow card accumulation again. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. And for actually, I was gonna say Freer too, but actually Freer, I think, is not in any trouble.
No, he's been pretty clean.
Yeah, Toto will. Actually,
Yeah.
I know it was a freeze frame, but what was it Taylor Twellman posted up the Toto foul that I think was the yellow card that got him suspended, but it could have easily been a red card. I know it was a freeze frame, so you always kind
Yeah.
of take those for granted, but it was such a nasty looking tackle.
Yeah. Yeah. It was not good. But the game itself, the rest of the game was interesting. You know, that first goal, I get it,
Can
one-on-one
I
with the keeper. It should never go between your legs.
can I ask a quick question before we get into it? If we
Yeah.
score first in a game, will we be nervous? Like, we've gone, what, 6 games, 7 games now being down?
Well,
At this next time,
but
if we go into Orlando tomorrow, we score first, is our first thought gonna be like, "This doesn't feel right, we should be concerned"?
I think our first thought is gonna be I don't think we'll be concerned or nervous, but I do think we'll be uncomfortable because we haven't been there in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
no, I wouldn't be nervous. Like, we weren't nervous in the Red Bull game when we went down 1. Like, you and I both were on record last week as saying, like, "Yeah, we thought for sure we were gonna come back and win the game." So, we won't be nervous if we score first.
so going back to your comment, I get I'm gonna defend Calendar a little bit here, and you can argue against this. I get you should never be down the 5 hole, that is unacceptable. He was fullback to net. And the second part is you've got a guy who scored on calendar hundreds of times in practice and knows every one of his, probably knows his traits really well. Like, that's the guy who can beat you. It's if a random guy on the team gets him, maybe different. But Bryce Duke's played against calendar for 2 straight years and 4 practices a week. I'm pretty sure he knows exactly what move to make that makes calendar go the wrong way and do it. And that's not good. But I'm not going to fully go like he got beat down the middle and ignore the fact that this was by his own teammate. I think there's an asterisk. I'm putting a little asterisk on your statement.
So I'm going to say while Bryce Duke was here, he was most likely a B teamer. And he would have been playing on Drake Calendar's team because Drake was not yet the starter.
The last year he
Marsman was
here.
still the starter.
No,
Yeah,
Calendar's
maybe
been a
that
starter for
when
2.5 years. Actually, probably 2 years now.
Bryce
Duke was a
Duke's been
start.
gone for a year and a half.
No, he was part of the Montreal deal that brought Kamal in.
Yeah,
It's less than
Kamal
a year.
didn't
April of
come here
last
year, did he?
Yeah, I did. April of last year. He came right before Neville got fired.
Well, either way, I think that Drake should have had it. That's my opinion.
I'm not. That's what I'm putting. I'm just putting a little asterisk. Rebellion, not agreeing with me. I accept that, but I'm putting a little asterisk and saying, he's the guy.
I think Drake should have had it.
He should have.
But Bryce scored on us, so that kind of sucked. But I think we can.
I did call it. Well, I called 2. I called at least 1 goal coming by internet.
You did.
Inter Miami play.
Yeah, and AZ right on it again. Drake should have at least touched that ball, and if he would have at least touched it, it wouldn't have gone in. Most likely. But we do have to thank Ari Lassiter for 2 goals. He gave us 2 goals. He gave us a Suarez goal because he fell asleep on the coverage on that corner, and then he totally got beat by Kromoski on the other goal.
I mean, you called at the beginning. Ari Lassiter should never be a left back, left wing back, left back.
He's finally contributed to goals for Inter Miami, and it makes me so happy.
Oh, that's not nice.
It's true.
Aww.
How many times were we like, oh yeah, there he goes, he's gone, and then it's like, boom, Jean Malta right into the supporter section.
Oh, that's just mean, man. Don't be mean to him. The guy was a nice guy. Plus,
listen, last guy's
he had
finished
4 goals
careers in Montreal.
Jesus Christ, he only had 4 goals for Inter Miami in 38 appearances.
Yeah, and you want me to go easy on him?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, nice guys finish their careers in Montreal.
Nice guys finish their careers.
Winners finish their careers here.
We're calling Joseph Martinez a nice guy.
I think Joseph is a very nice guy.
Actually,
he's already won.
He was so nice, super nice.
He's already won MLS Cup. Yeah, Mike V, I do agree. I joke around about Lassiter, but I really did have high hopes for him. I don't think I've ever said it on the show. I'm a Tico, so I support Costa Rica when I'm not supporting U.S. men's national team. So, seeing him suit up, I was hoping, hey, same Miami Fusion pitch. Maybe he'll have some magic like his dad did. He did not. But also he shouldn't be playing left back. I know he was there because of injury, but to be fair to him, he gave up those 2 goals, but that's not his position. That dude's
and again, I mean, it takes a whole team to blow a 2-0 lead, right? That's it was more than just that.
And so the thing is, like, I don't think Montreal played that bad. I think we just made them pay for their mistakes very effectively.
Which has been kind of our MO. Like, if you give us an inch, we're going to take a mile. We're going to let you do whatever you want, but eventually we're going to decide to play.
But what we've also seen though is like we've had like high quality chances against other teams that we've just like fumbled. But in this game, we were very effective on our attacks, and when the opponent made a mistake, they paid for it. It wasn't like when they made a mistake, like we made them like quiver a little bit because we got close to the goal.
We also got to call out, this all started and I want to cover this a second. Messi's not on the pitch. We're playing with 10 men. Rojas steps up for a free kick
Yeah.
and buries it like he's Messi. Because nobody. Okay. My boy, oh my God, I can't think. I've been drinking already. I've stopped. Can't think of his man's name, and he's going to yell at me because he's probably listening to the show right now. My boy Santi is going to tell me that he knew Rojas would do because he's been a huge Rojas fan from day one and yelled at me for number 28. But everyone besides Santi did not see this goal coming. Like it was.
I
mean, it's goal of the week for a reason. It would be goal of the week in almost any league.
I was like, oh shit, Rojas is coming up because, like, I admitted last week I was completely wrong about, what I thought we would see. And then you were like, oh, it's just one game and we didn't see anything. And then I'm like, oh, this is where he's going to show. Like, I thought it. I'm like, this is where he's going to, like, just tell me to shut the hell up and just stop. And that's what he did. It was beautiful. And Messi is the only other person on the field that I think could have done, like, a free kick like that.
It was gorgeous.
It was amazing.
Over the wall into the as my son would remind me, top right bins. Like it was just a hell of a shot. And right away, it starts the comeback, and then kind of calling out. You put Lassiter, who is not a defender, on Suarez.
On Suarez.
Which again, I'm calling that as a team fail. Somebody. You can't tell me someone didn't make their assignment that you left.
So if you rewatch it, though, I don't think it's a team fail so much as that was a Lassie fail because you can see the moment he fell asleep on coverage.
Oh yeah,
you can see it.
But
so
you have arguably the greatest striker that's ever played in MLS, historically speaking, right? Like take the total record of any striker, and Suarez is the best. And you're detailing Lassie to come down. I guess if you're running a zone corner kick coverage, which they do, like I don't know if it's zone or what it's called, but like, if you're not man marking, maybe. But you're also leaving him to guard the far post again. That you should have a center back there.
Well, especially because Montreal's running 3 at the back, right? They have 3 center backs on the field.
There should have been a center back.
I'll give you that. Yeah, there definitely should have been. But I also think like Lassie gets a little bit of the blame because you can see on the replay like where he switches off and Suarez just raises that foot just right above him and boom, right in.
Because you see him afterwards go, oh my God, this just happened to me. Like he saw that look.
He looked like a deer in the headlights because he's like, you could tell that he didn't even know Suarez was there after the goal went in. He thought that he scored an own goal, is what the look on his face said. And then he turned his head a little bit more and he's like, oh.
What I just think, like, again, I think it was that's where I go team fail. I just don't understand how when you're drawing up, you're looking at film. You hadn't remember this whole they had half a week to look at film, discuss it. Okay, corner kick's going to happen. Suarez on the field. Who's got him? Hey, Ari, you got him. You're in charge. No, like that makes no sense.
I think
no sense whatsoever.
And I think Montreal. I can't believe I haven't brought this up yet, but I nailed the score prediction.
yeah,
with 3-2. And the only reason like I thought it might be that way is I could have seen this being a blowout. Is where I'm going because Montreal is not a great team. They're not very deep, and I think that's what you see like with Lassiter as a left back. Like that's not where he plays. We all know that, but I thought that they do have some attacking weapons. Like Bryce Duke broke my heart when he left. I thought he really had a chance to be something special, but I think it's hard for teams like Montreal to mark Messi, Suarez, Busquets. You've even like Fryer is good in the air. Like it's hard to mark all these guys with like your top defenders, but not having one of your center backs on Suarez on a corner is kind of
right. And that's my point. Like I'm not saying Ari's without fault. He clearly is, but that failure started at the coaching staff, and you made him the blame for it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I do want to kind of interject in one piece. So we've got the new rules now.
Bad take, man.
So we've got the
Bad
new
take.
rules. We all like the new rules that we finally get to see the extra time. I think that's a great new rule. VAR announcements, I think is a
Love
great
it.
rule. I love it. I initially liked this concept that if a player went down and was rolling around on the field, they had to be off for 2 minutes. At first, that made sense to me. I will say I am absolutely against this rule now. Specifically, that there needs to be an addendum for when you get fouled and you are injured, you are then penalized. And so like
Well,
this has to go back to the drawing board because I already see play like just go foul guy and we get a 2-minute advantage. Like that's an
yeah,
easy.
but see, the problem is the ref, and I agree with you. I do. But this is the problem with having this rule in at all is the only person who knows if that player is hurt is that player.
Yeah.
Like a ref can't see every angle that we can from home. So if a player goes down, and let's be honest, if a player goes down 95% of the time, they're fine.
Yeah,
It's
but my
that
point is this.
5%.
The ref called foul. If a player goes down, the ref deems no foul and he stays on the ground, I don't mind this concept. I really don't. But if you call a foul and the player was injured as part of that foul, it shouldn't be double jeopardy, which is essentially what happened in this case where
Right.
Messi was fouled and we also have Messi taken off the field. Like,
And I get that. And
that's to me
I
the,
get
the
it.
piece.
And I agree with you. But when you start, my thing is this rule probably is not going to be in place very long because like this is a situation like you're just asking the ref like, oh, we need this attendant, we need this. Like that's too much nonsense.
No, but
Like
I'm
let's
saying it's
just
not. But I'm removing the subjectivity with my concept here. Is simply enough. If you're injured as the result of a opponent fouling you, it doesn't apply.
but see and I get that, but you also run the risk of like if you put that in, like I don't know. I just think that's impossible. It's an impossible rule to enforce if you go that route.
Well, I definitely don't like this version of it. Like,
Yeah.
and I saw Messi get frustrated, and I felt for him because I'm like, yeah, no, you got fouled. You got from now what we're hearing that he might actually be out this week.
So
He got really fouled, and he got still taken off the field for 2 minutes. What if that had resulted in a goal
well,
against us?
but see, so Sean brings up a good point. If this is true, yellows, this situation doesn't happen. If it was a yellow card, foul.
I just think it should be on
If
any
that's
foul.
how it is, but see, yeah, I
If they sit for
and you run
yellows,
the
then it should
risk,
just apply.
but then you run the risk of a foul because a foul can be something that doesn't injure a player. So if you're saying like a foul, if somebody trips somebody and the ref blows the whistle for a foul, but the guy stays down for 5 minutes, like that's a problem. And that's what this is trying to address is those soft contact fouls that people make into a bigger deal. And I think
I
this is kind of doing what it's supposed to. I don't think Messi took a knock. Let's get to that now. I 100% think that they said that in today's press conference because they were upset with this rule. And I think they're like, well, he was really injured. So suck it, Don Garber.
But did they call out did they tie it together?
Mm-hmm.
Did he
He
say in
took
the
a
press
knock
conference?
on the hard tackle that he took in the
Mm.
Montreal game. Yeah. So, it's one of those rules, and MLS unfortunately has kind of like the biggest mid-tier league, I guess you could
Yeah,
say,
no,
is
the
going to
FIFA's
test these things out for FIFA.
yeah, FIFA's admitted that they're using MLS2 and MLS to
Yeah,
test. So like it is.
because we
I
have
just
the largest viewership of like the mid-tier leagues. So people are going to be very critical and they'll get a good idea of what the rest of the world will think if they roll this out. Like that stupid, I mean, I guess this is kind of it, but the sin bin idea.
I actually like the Sinvin, but it might be one of those things where see it in practice. And I like the Sinvin because I specifically think of that stupid moment where Sergio Dest lost his effing head for 180 seconds. And then the team had to play down for 55 minutes. Like I do like the idea that there's something where you can like, dude, you need to cool it. Your team needs to play down for a bit, but we'll give you 5 or 10 minutes and you can try again. And I know it's such a humongous change to football, and I am a heretic for even suggesting it. But I just look at it and go, there was no reason the U.S. team needed to be down 10 men because this idiot kicked a soccer ball. No, punted a soccer ball, essentially.
Well, it is what it is. But Sean brings up an interesting topic here. If it's egregious time wasting, they should have to stand in timeout. If it's egregious time wasting, the ref should card it.
Oh, that's a whole other problem.
That will fix this real quick.
God, what was the game? There was a game it's a game we lost or tied. The goalkeeper was holding the ball for 45 seconds at a time. We were screaming as fans. Like it was so egregious. And it wasn't even the goalkeeper wasn't even on yellow yet. Like I get it when the goalkeeper's on yellow, then the ref's going to give him a little more leeway because he doesn't want to red card the keeper. But it wasn't even on yellow yet. I forget what game. I was so angry.
There's been a lot of them recently. I think it was third tier England. The playoff. Maybe it wasn't the playoff. Maybe it was like this team just needed to hold on and win by one goal, and the goalkeeper like pretended to slip when he did the free kick and all this shit, and he got carded for it. And that's the only way to solve these problems is there has to be an actual punishment.
Well, and I mean, there's easy ways for this. Like, it doesn't take a whole lot for VAR to have a stopwatch, and like goalkeeper's got it. I mean, growing up, and I don't know when this changed. Growing up, the goalkeeper could only have the ball for 7 seconds, and like there was stuff
It's
like
still
that.
that way. That's still the rule.
Yeah, no one's tracking it. Make it VARable.
Oh God, that's the last thing we need is more VAR. But
goalkeeper had the ball for 13 seconds. Like we should review that. Like,
yeah, no, I hate that idea. I hate VAR. I can't agree with you on that one. But moving. Oh, do you have anything else you want to say about the Montreal game?
I don't agree with you that we should have just we could have been a blowout. I think we could have easily have lost this match. Like, I'm not going to get super negative. I think when you have I think as Danny always says, like Messi doesn't lose, and I think this is another one of those Messi doesn't lose type matches, even though he wasn't the huge contributor. But I don't think you can look at this and go, we had this one sealed because it took a while to get us back in the game. And frankly, when that resurgence starts on a hell of a kick, like free kick, there's a little bit of luck on that one too.
All I'm gonna say is if we started Robbie Taylor or David Ruiz over Gressel, would have been a blowout.
I'm trying to channel my inner Roy Kent right now. Grrr. We've been watching.
It would have happened.
I don't think so.
It would have happened. Yes, because we had no creativity on that side of the field. There's nothing happening over there. Nothing.
The team
Wigan made some good runs, but Gressel didn't do shit.
Your real complaint should be, why does the team start so slow every single match? And don't make the argument that it's slow until Gressel comes out. Gressel's played more minutes than anyone, and we've won a lot of matches. So it's not Gressel. Like, why do we start so slow every single match? Like, we just don't start.
The first goal was on Christoph. As much as it was on Jake, it was on Christoph because
defensive breakdown.
It was a defensive breakdown. You have Toto, and you keep Gressel in if you want, but if you have Toto in there, I think you're feeling better.
So let me make the statement that I texted you, which is this was the first game. So let me give all the context for any of our new listeners. I have been the biggest defender of the defense and said we're going to be a leaky defense. I'm okay with it. We just need to score more goals. And I've said it up through what game was this? This was game 17? No, we're not that far into it. Whatever game we're on. I've said I'm not worried about defenders. Keep on money in the attack. We're just going to outscore the other team. This was the first game I said, holy shit, our defenders that are on the bench can't keep up. Like, until maybe Ian Frey gets back, I'm okay now.
I think Sailor could. And I think Sailor would do a much
you have
better job than
confidence in
Kristoff.
you have confidence in Sailor that I don't have. Until I see it, I'm not going to change that.
I have confidence in Sailor as a depth piece. Like, I'm not saying he should be the starter. But what I'm saying is I think Ryan Sailor would do a better job than Kristoff did in this game. Ryan Sailor gives you some pace and some athleticism. Kristoff doesn't give you that. Kristoff can be a rock, but this isn't the system for him.
I am agreeing on the second part.
Listen,
Kristoff, I'm not agreeing on the Sailor part.
I am support. Listen, you have to take this seriously because I am advocating for a Washington Husky to get more minutes on this team.
A Washington Husky with the hair of a god that you appreciate.
I don't give two shits.
Your boy Callie is going to be insulted.
That's fine.
He was mean. To be fair, he was mean to you today, so I think this is just you getting back at him.
He was?
Yeah, he said that you're not one of his
he was
favorite
mean
people.
to both of us.
Well, I assumed it was more towards you.
Well, probably. I think what he was saying is his favorite duo is me and him.
So, okay, I will move forward now, but I stated my statement, and I am not agreeing with yours.
That's fine. And you like to be wrong. Speaking of wrong, and somebody who said Mateus Rojas would never be anything good with Inter Miami, he made Team of the Week.
I want to give MLS credit here because they didn't put Messi on it. Well, I just assumed Messi would be on every single Team of the Week, and they didn't put him on.
I'm not gonna lie, I got nervous that they were gonna put Suarez on the bench. I don't think he played a good enough game to get like Team of the Week, even though he had the goal. But
I'm sorry, I fully expected Messi to be on the screen. I did.
I didn't.
I just figured they just automatically, like, they've printed every one of these. Messi's pictures already in it. Everyone else goes on it. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I'm being 100% serious.
I know you are, but you're also like kind of like blowing past your criteria of like, oh, you have to score a goal to get on Team of the Week
or have the name Messi.
Well, yeah, I definitely didn't expect Messi. And to be honest, I didn't really expect Rojas. I thought he had the goal of the week, but I didn't watch a lot of MLS this weekend.
I'm glad. I'm going to say I'm glad because A, his goals great. B, I mean, you and I are Tops Now collectors. Rojas on his first full game of the pitch or second game has 2 goals. Tops Now did nothing for him because Suarez had the Hattie and Messi had the 6.
Yeah.
So like
his first one.
Yeah. So let's throw Rojas bone. He got his first card out of this game. He got Team of the Week.
Yeah. And good for him. He deserved it. Like, I thought he put in a good shift. But sometimes the teams of the week come out and it's just not good. And MLS did a good job this week. I was happy with it. Happy for Rojas. And honestly, couldn't be happier to be wrong about somebody.
No. Right now, this looks like,
yeah.
So I know. Again, I'm gonna quote your boy Taylor, saying the best offseason move was Suarez, and I think that's hard to deny. The best in-season move so far looks a lot like Rojas, though. That guy.
What other move would you put in that?
Well, the guy that this guy from AC Milan going to LAFC is probably a pretty good mid-season move.
Oh yeah, no, I thought I don't know why I thought you were talking specifically Inter Miami. Yeah. Oh, and Pablo brings it up. Redondo is a good move, but he's been injured.
Yeah, and remember he's preseason and he's going to get eclipsed by Suarez.
Yeah, but I think when Redondo comes back, especially because the time frame that he comes back in will probably be without Messi. I think Redondo is going to show his worth. So I could definitely see like Suarez 1, Redondo 2, just because a goal scorer in MLS is always going to be number 1. A spine of a team midfielder like Redondo is not going to get the love he deserves. But I do agree with you guys that he's up there for sure. But yeah, and we'll get into at the end of the match day. There we are. Top of the league, top of the supporter section or supporter shield, and top of the Eastern Conference with 27 points. We still have a game in hand over most of the teams below us, and even 2 games in hand over some. So, um, there is an opportunity for some teams to catch us. Like if Cincinnati wins their game in hand, they'll be tied with us. But yeah, I couldn't be happier with where we are in the rankings at this point in the season. I know
And
Mike has a fun stat.
take a moment. So I got 2 stats. First off, just look at the goal differential between Cincinnati and Miami.
Yeah.
Like,
Look at the
we are-
goal differential for everybody and then us.
and here's the thing: we've given up 20 goals. Like, we are not good on defense, and
Yeah.
we still have a goal differential of plus 15. So the other piece I did. So we've got 27 points right now. We scored 27 points we got to 27 points in September last season. The season before when we made the playoffs, we got to 27 points at the end of July, and we've done it in May. Like, it is a whole new ball game. We are essentially 17 points short of the playoffs at this point.
Yeah.
And so I was a guy who questioned us making the playoffs. I did. I will honor that statement I made preseason and the beginning of the season. When you are less than halfway through the season and you only need 17 more points, which is the equivalent of 6 wins,
in theory,
to get into, I'm calling 44 points is probably your playoff line, to get into the playoffs, you're in a great spot. Like, this is where you can say, okay, we will survive Messi not being, maybe not get the Supporters Shield, but we will make it into the playoffs.
Joe Kerr bringing the Neville out into the show, because Portland with Phil Neville at the helm is going to win MLS Cup before us. Don't forget.
That was not
Listen, I've mentioned my Rojas mistake several times, so it's only fair we
I owned it. I brought it up last week. I stayed last week that I made a horrible call on the Neville. Like, hit it is a dumpster fire over there, and I don't watch a lot of them, so I don't know why, but it is a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I admittedly don't either. I really only have time to watch us and rewatch us just for you guys. But
you know how much I hate rewatching games. I just don't do it. But for you,
you
the
know
viewers,
what?
I do.
But and I'll be honest, like this year, it's been very easy to rewatch games because like you pick up different things. Like there's more exciting things happening off the ball. Like it's not just like, oh, we're gonna lose this one. It's like, oh man, did you see that flick by Boosie? Did you see this? Did you see that? It's more exciting now.
It's
The
unbelievable.
quality on our team is so good. It's just awesome.
It's
fun to watch.
It's fun, and that's what makes the games rewatching possible. We haven't had the match where you don't want to rewatch it.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it for sure. But moving on to the Brightline Classico coming up on Wednesday against Orlando Shitty. Yeah, they won 3-2 against Philadelphia Union in their last game. Same as us, but we go into this game. Michelle Kaufman broke some news today that Messi's questionable for the game on Wednesday. As I mentioned, Javi in his press conference did say that Messi picked up a slight knock in the hard challenge against Montreal. Also worth noting that most of the starters have not practiced with the team this week, so we really don't know what the starting lineup is going to look like. I think it might be rotated, but we'll see.
I'm gonna say this, and this goes back to one of our classic comments. I still think everyone knows it's Orlando. I think Tata knows it's Orlando. We have never won at Orlando, whether it's Interco Field or what was their old name. Like, we've never won there. I don't think it's rotated. I think possibly Messi's out. I'm not going to deny that we might not have Messi, but I expect Alba to be back first off. Like, he's, as far as I know, he's not in the injury report. So I expect the majority of our players, I expect our fullback line to be back. And we go from there. Should we be able to win without Messi, whatever all the rest of our stars? Absolutely. I don't see the benefit of rotating. Like I really don't. Like what so we can win against DC at home? No, I'd rather I think go win in Orlando.
Yeah,
Make a statement.
I think I think there's that, but I do also think that there's probably some injury concern, like with the Suarez, with the Messi, with the Busquets, like the older guys going on 3 days rest and then going again on 3 days rest. Um, I don't I don't know. I think we see Alba. I definitely think could come back because he hasn't played. I think we could see him come back against Orlando. I think in a midfield you might see something like Kremoski, Gressel, and Ruiz. Maybe Ruiz as the holding mid. Um, and then up top, I think you could see a Campana and
Suarez is
Robbie
starting.
Taylor top two.
Suarez is starting.
I don't know, man. Suarez has played a lot of minutes.
Suarez is
Like,
starting.
I don't know.
I'm
I
gonna
could see
stick out and
Suarez and Messi coming off the bench. I could see
I'm
both of them
gonna
coming
stick
off
out.
the bench.
I'm agreeing with Rebellion, or he's agreeing with me. This is against a rival. I'm not. We've discussed at what level that means, but the players know it. The coach
Well,
knows it.
but
Don't
and
sit your
and to
players for no
play
reason.
into that, first, I don't think you're sitting players for no reason. You're playing 3 games in a week. There's a reason for sitting these guys.
With a week off after.
But Mike, you play a guy 3 times in a week who's over the age of 35, chances are he's going to get hurt. If I played 3 soccer games this week, I would be dead.
Okay, but you're
So it's not
exactly
for no reason.
Listen, I don't want to insult you, but you're not a peak of physical fitness
Right.
that Messi is.
But what I'm saying
But here's
is
my argument.
it's not for no reason you rest a guy.
I get rest Messi to start the game, start Suarez, and then you can invert that against DC. I'm okay with like partial rotation, but you don't need to rotate the whole squad today. There's no reason.
But I'm not
and I think
I'm not saying you rotate the whole squad. I think
but I
I
think
do think
your suggested names, Campana, no Messi, like
you
you're
pull
suggesting
Suarez,
rotating.
if you pull Suarez, Messi, and Boosie out, that team should still be able to beat Orlando.
But I don't think you should.
But
Now,
think you
there
can.
is some, I will say there's some humor to me, considering especially that I'm going up to the game, that we wouldn't bring Messi to Orlando. Like, I like the fact that all these Orlando fans would buy these tickets for crazy prices and that would happen. Like, there is some joy in that concept to me. And like, we will all find that to be very funny. But I want that first win. I really do.
Yeah. And I do too. Like, I'm not going to say I don't, but I think we can get that with pulling a couple people off. I don't think we need Messi and Suarez to start the game to beat Orlando. Boosie,
I
maybe
actually
you
agree
start
with
Boosie.
you. For the record,
But I don't think you need them on the field to beat Orlando.
The way our team plays, we could start IMCF2 the first half, and we'll still win that game as long as we put in all our starters at the 45-minute mark and let them come back from the whatever deficit we're at. So you're right. So we don't need to start them. But I just don't think you go that deep on the rotation.
I get what you're saying, and I agree that it's a rivalry match. But let me throw these stats at you. Orlando City right now is ranked 21st in the league in goals scored per match at 1.3 goals per match. They haven't kept a clean sheet in 6 matches, and they're ranked 24th in shots on target per match with 4 shots on target. You don't need Messi and Suarez to beat that team. You don't.
I
Campana will chip him in the first minute, and Robbie Taylor will score a hat trick on him.
But here's your problem with that stat is we're going to set the record this year for most points from a losing position. It's going to happen. I don't think we're there yet, but it's coming.
But Mike,
and that's fine. Hey, I let you talk. Let me finish. My point is, sooner or later, you don't come back. And maybe it's not against Orlando. But one of these games we're going to get behind, and we're not going to be able to dig our way out. And I'd rather not it be against. I'd like to beat Orlando. I don't mind losing against DC. If that happens against DC, I'm going to handle it a hell of a lot better than going to Orlando and losing there. And yeah, I'm saying this as a fan. I'm saying this as a rivalry match. I am biased towards my emotions of this game, which makes my critique a little bit flawed. And I get that. So I understand what you're saying. What you're saying is logical. I just would rather, when I have 2 games on the calendar I'm looking at, the Orlando one means more to me than DC was. One, let them play, or at least let Suarez or Messi start and bring in the other one later, and we can rotate them out the second half, the opposite next week or on Saturday.
So I get it, but DC is the team I want to see us go all out against, because
Why?
DC is a team we could see in the playoffs. We're not going to see Orlando in the playoffs. Orlando's on the cusp. I personally don't think they make the playoffs if they keep this up.
It's early
I
still.
would love to beat Orlando. We can beat them without Messi and Suarez, is my point. Against DC has Christian Benteke, who is on like a tear right now.
Have you seen the
Yes.
statistics for his in the air? He's won more in the air, like 100 than some teams. It's incredible.
Yeah. They're
in the duels in the air.
They're 11th in the league in goals scored per match. They've got Jared Stroud, who's like number 1 right now in goal creation. Like, it's insane. Like, DC United is not the DC United of the last 2 seasons. Like, this is a team that is going to be competing in the Eastern Conference. And I would rather have Messi and Suarez on the bench against Orlando. A, because fuck those fans. B, because we can beat this team without them. And C, because I want them both to start against DC. Because the more teams at the top of the league that we can put distance between, the better off we are.
I think you're going against your own argument, which has been historically we're a tournament team. We'll get in the tournament. Doesn't matter as long as we're in the tournament. Which I just conceded that we're going to make the tournament. Like, I want to get first off, I want to get all the points we can get.
Pablo's right. He made my argument for me. Taylor, Campana, and Rojas will smoke Orlando. It'll happen.
No. Sorry, take Campana's name out of there. I'm sorry. At this point in time, you cannot put Campana's name in that list. I don't care.
What team did this chip happen against?
Dude,
what team was that?
That's
Orlando shitty.
That was 2 seasons ago.
But Mike, he stepped up because it was a rivalry game, and that's the last rivalry game he played. He stepped
up because he was the premier strike. He was fighting to be the premier striker on our team at that point.
No, but it's a rivalry game, Mike. They step up in those games. It means more to them.
It's Campana. He's done nothing in a season and a half now.
Because he's been on the bench, Mike.
Well, that's fine. But he has been on the bench, so he hasn't gotten those real minutes. So he hasn't built the group abilities. Like, I agree with that.
You don't need to build those minutes to beat Orlando shitty. You don't. Orlando is a much worse team in this league.
Orlando has historically, except for last season, Orlando is historical not a great
stats
team.
Don't matter.
No, but I just think you're super not accounting for Orlando, and you're super over accounting for our ability to keep on coming back from these losing positions.
We're not going to be in a losing position tomorrow, Mike. It's not going to happen. It's a rivalry game. These players are going to step up.
You can keep on saying that because I know the shot. I know you're taking the shot at me, but I would place money. We are going to be in a losing position tomorrow.
I don't know.
We've been in the last 7 games because it's a rivalry game for them too, dude. Don't like it goes both ways on that one. Someone's going to be in a losing position.
Yeah, but when you have more talent on your roster and your roster's fired up, they're going to win.
Not when you're more talent sitting on the bench and Campana is your starting striker.
Hell yeah. Campana can score against that defense. McGuire's probably going to have, before the game, McGuire's probably going to have another failed move to Blackburn.
You know, they actually reached out and contacted him again today.
They're scouting him at this game.
Yeah.
They have like one of their top execs coming to this game for him, which I think is hilarious.
Don't jinx it, man.
I think for sure he's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to blow this game. I don't want to go there.
I just need to check something real quick. Where's Campana on this list? Campana. Oh, that's last season. How many goals does Campana have this season?
I am not telling you that Campana is going to lead our team in scoring against Orlando because I think Robbie Taylor scores a hat trick. But you're laughing, man.
Suarez is
I
going to
don't know.
score.
Yeah, he's going to score in the 82nd minute when Tata brings him in.
Suarez is going to have a brace.
Maybe. Listen, I think both of us, what we can both agree on is we beat Orlando City. No matter what lineup we put out there, we're going to win. You have us losing?
I will tell you if he brings it out a heavily rotated lineup.
I'm not talking heavily rotated.
Yes, you were talking heavily rotated. If you're starting out with the three of the 4 Barcelona players on the bench, that's heavily rotated.
Mike.
I'm telling you. I started out the show with I'm excited for this match.
You're throwing Alba in. You're bringing Alba back in. You're bringing Ruiz, who's been a hell of a player this season. You're bringing in Robbie Taylor, who's been fantastic.
My friend, I want to move on from this point, but like I don't agree with you here. If we start out heavily rotated, I will be nervous. If we don't have at least 2 of the Barca boys, give me at least 2. I'm concerned.
All right. Boosie, I could see Boosie and Alba starting.
Boosie and Alba with Rojas on there. I think you have a team that can win them, but not your 3. You start out with 3 of them off the field, and that's where I get real nervous.
Well, okay, so if you put Boosie and Alba in the starting lineup, and then against DC, you rest Alba because he's coming back from injury, let Negri play, and if you want to rest Boosie, that's fine. I think we win that game too.
Yeah, listen to Joe. Stop annoying me.
Joe, that's your own fault. I have no sympathy for you, and I have no sympathy for the nitpicking you're going to have to listen to on the way back. Oh, I can't believe we only won 4-0. It's a rivalry game. No, you're not.
You understand? I'm going to sleep on the way back. Hands down.
I don't believe him.
Passing out. All right, what do we got left?
Score prediction, Mike. Score prediction.
Well, now you fucking got in my head about who the hell is going to start. I'm sticking with we are not going heavily rotated, and we're winning this 4-2. And Duncan McGuire has a goal, and Suarez has 2.
I'm going to say 4-1. We're going to see a hat trick, and we're going to see Orlando get a garbage time goal.
No, we're going to be down
4-1.
Behind. We're playing from behind. By the way, Mike V, why are you taking the bus on the Brightline? We were not sure was going to offer a guaranteed, like if the game went late due to stormy weather, we weren't sure they'd offer an option. Because remember, was it two seasons ago, the Damian Lowe disaster? That game, I think, finished at 1:30 in the morning. So there was concerns about that.
AZ, you're absolutely right. 4-1. Joe, you're close to being right. 3-1. Skrilla, you're close. 4-2. Ooh, AZ, Rojas scores first. Who scores first, Mike?
Mike says
McGuire.
McGuire.
It's all in his eyes. I saw it.
I'm going McGuire. Because honestly, I can't think of who else is an attacking player on their team right now.
That's about it.
Who's their new kid? They got the new kid that scored last week for them that they're excited about. Is that who it is? Mm-hmm. I'll say the new kid. The new kid scores first for them. McGuire has the second.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm getting pretty specific on these. I'm gonna have to start making parlays at this point. The way I'm making specific predictions. Mike V can pop.
Well, yes, we both saw it.
I can pop.
Oh, Mike. If that happens,
I'm trying to decide if Kampapi scores a hat trick.
I'm going to be insufferable on the next show. God. I'm going to be insufferable.
Kampapi scores a hat trick. I'm going to have Mike V take my spot and deal with you, and I'm going to watch from the sideline. I'm going to rotate. We're going to use a heavy rotation, and I'm going to sit on the bench.
We should bring Mike V, and we should have a segment just like, like a fireside chat with Mike V.
TJ keeps on asking to come in and be one of the hosts. I'm like, no, but that I might make him put
Thursday.
Up with you
let's do it.
If the Kampapi hat trick. All right, man. Our goal was an
Moving
hour.
on.
We're at
Moving on.
105. Let's get through this stuff quick.
So next, last section we wanted to go through is just the fun around the league that we're seeing. First thing, Jesus Ferreira, man, he is the youngest player in MLS history to reach 50 goals scored. Like that is freaking awesome, man. A lot of young U.S. men's national team talent that Greg Berhalter's going to waste coming up in MLS, and I think that's awesome. In the middle, the team of the team of the season cards are out. Messi, Acosta, Busquets, Chucho. A lot of great cards to get out there and snag for you
I've got like
FIFA players.
600K and E-Bucks, whatever they are, and FIFA because I haven't gone on in like 4 months.
Yeah.
That Sergio card's nice. I might have to go spend a little of that money. It's still so
Yeah.
cool to see like all these great players. Like it's just a reminder of how crazy it is when the only 80 plus players at first in the league were all on our team.
Well, that and the other thing to think of is like, think about what some of these players are playing. Like Chucho is playing in Columbus, Ohio. If you guys have never been to Columbus, Ohio, A, don't go. And B, there is nothing there, but you attract a talent like Chucho. Acosta playing in Cincinnati.
I had a
Like,
great time when I visited Columbus.
Mike, of course you did.
I drank a lot of beer and watched a soccer game. It was awesome.
Yeah. Okay, if you go for a soccer game, that's different. But like, there's nothing in Columbus. Cincinnati, like, I don't know. Somebody once told me that Cincinnati's better than New York City. Wrong. But
Oh my God, who told you that?
you know who.
I actually
Anytime
don't.
New York City is mentioned in a
Callie
chat that
said that?
we're in,
I thought it was
no. Callie loves New York City.
Who said that? Name names.
Trav.
Oh, well, okay, fuck him. No,
Yeah.
let's move on.
And then the last one is I thought this was an excellent kickoff to rivalry week. And it was Portland against Seattle. And their sign, gut the fish. Awesome. Awesome.
Here's the problem with that. It's not a fish, it's a mammal. And I'm sorry. I expect better. The rivalry's 20 plus years old. They should know it's a mammal, not a fish.
So historically, I don't think you should be respectful of another team's mascot. And I think an orca would be offended if you called it a fish. So I'm cool with it.
That's an awesome.
You love it. You know you do.
I have no
They
rebuttal.
offended the mascot. They offended an orca, and they offended the other team.
That actually makes that a million times better. So no,
Yeah.
3 points for Gryffindor.
Yeah. Hey, we don't talk about lions during rivalry week, Mike.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm a Slytherin, so it's okay.
Yeah. Ravenclaw, buddy. But anyway,
I could see you being a Ravenclaw.
Yeah. Handsome, attractive, intelligent. Everything a young Ravenclaw should
You are
be.
truly. You never know. Cedric Diggory was a Hufflepuff. That always surprises me.
It was weird, right?
Yeah, like nobody thought he would have been a Ravenclaw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our viewers are going, "What the hell just happened?"
You know why he was a Hufflepuff, right? If he was a Ravenclaw, he would have made it through that situation. Spoiler alert for anyone who didn't see the movies. But anyway, we are at the hour and 10-minute mark. We almost kept our promise to keep it to an hour. Thank you guys for listening. Chat, you guys just continue to blow it out of the water. Stay tuned. Hit the social medias, both Inter Miami, Fort Lauderdale show. Mike?
Are we trying to go live tomorrow? Are you going to go live after the game and try to see if I'm going to be able to participate? Is that your plan?
If you're going to, it's dependent on you, man.
I don't know. I mean, you can go live on your own. I don't know where I'm going to be. Like,
so
we'll see. We don't know.
I'll talk about it, but I think you'll have 10 minutes. We'll talk about it right after we end. But I think we could probably go live tomorrow after the game
because I can make Joe Kerr hold the phone. I'll have the AirPods on. We can do this.
Yeah.
Joe
Let's do
Kerr,
it.
they call him the human tripod for multiple reasons, but that's one of them.
Yeah. That's also not the main reason, Joker.
No.
But anyway, yeah. Hit up subscribe to the socials. Hit the bell on YouTube, because if we go live, you guys will get a notification. We will tweet it out beforehand if we can. Guys, we're almost at 160 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you guys are listening recorded and can, join us live. Jump in the chat. Interact with us. But most of all, we just thank you guys for listening. You guys are the best. You're helping us grow, helping us do cool things like sending Mike on a bus to go to Orlando and come to you live from Chase Stadium North. But yeah.
No. It's Interstadium. We don't need to rename it. They already
Interstadium.
renamed it for us.
All right. Go for it. But yeah.
Inter and Friends Stadium.
But yeah, thanks, guys. We appreciate you guys, and we will catch you, if not tomorrow live, we will be back at you Thursday with a recap for Orlando and a preview for DC. So till the next time, peace out.